Welcome everyone to Neverwinter on PC. My name is Rainer and today I'm going to release the Neverwinter Character Builder Plus version 0.7.2. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you would like to see more information or videos about Neverwinter, hit the subscribe button. So, it's been a couple of weeks since I released the last version. I've not been sitting still. So we're going to go through the changes, and some of these are going to be very handy for people. As always, we're going to go through the changes via the changelog here. So let's go to the first item. First item is actually a bug fix. I fixed an issue when where if you had an old save file and you loaded it, so a save file that, let me show you. If you have a save file that does not contain the latest things, I think this is probably one. Yeah, not enough data to load the mount combat power, not enough data to load mount equip power, so it's also new, those messages. If you would save this file again with the same name, it would actually not, well, it would update the save file, but you would not see the changes when loading it again. Basically, what it did is it would add the new values at the end of the save file, and the beginning of the save file was still there, and that would cause some confusion when loading the save file. So that's now changed, fixed. So now you will actually get what your save file will work now. Next up, reset of the mounts page now also resets the bolster value, so that was something that it didn't do yet. Here the mounts page bolster would stay at 100% if you click this, and now it doesn't do that anymore. The power tooltips, I think in version 0.7.1 I had maybe a couple of the ranger tooltips, and I also added now all of the other. No, not like that. For example, fighter. If I go to, I need to select this first, and now you can see that all of these are now filled in. Once things change, please give me a message, because it will be hard to keep this 100% up to date on my own. It's gonna be a lot more interesting again when we add the damage calculations, because that's going to be even more tricky. So I have to figure out how to make sure that this always stays up to date, but it should be up to date right now. Class feature stats. Oh yeah, so class features down here, they typically also give statistics, and or typically sometimes they give statistics. And now I also implemented that. So if you pick one of these class features that actually give statistics, you will see them added also in your stats. Equip bonuses, I also added a couple more of those. I don't know exactly which ones. There's still a lot that I haven't implemented yet, but this will be an ongoing project. Maybe in the next version I will have implemented most of them. Tier 2 hunt locations to the gear, so we already have all the gear in here for tier 2. This is probably tier 3, but for tier 2 I added Avernus Hunts tier 2, and then the source of the item, this is from tier 1. So yeah, all of the items that are now from tier 2 hunts which have a known drop location are now in here. Also, tier 2 hunt gear items actually had a different equip bonus than when mod 19 dropped. When mod 19 dropped, actually these items were all already in the collections, but in the end, apparently they actually came out with different equip bonuses, and I've fixed them. So they should be all correct now. Let me see, combat powers. Oh yeah, this is the big one. It looks very small here, but right now we also have for mount powers. Yeah, let's leave it at 0 for first. So if we go to combat powers now, so in the last version you will only see something here, and it will not be calculated. But now you actually see here a combat power for each of the qualities. I don't know if all of the qualities exist, Probably not, because this is Arcane Whirlwind, so it's only Legendary and Mythic. But I just calculate for all of them. And this is basically also depending on bolster. And if you change the bolster, you'll actually see that the values are dynamically changing. So you can see the values for 100% bolster right like this. Here you can see the bolster, and here you can also see which mounts have it. So if you go to one that has more explosive equalizer, you can see all of the mounts that give this combat power. Of course, interesting ones are the tunnel vision, which gives 3000 at max bolster. And now, as I said, you can just change this to whatever you have, and you will see exactly what it would do for you, the power. Because in game, the tooltips, there's some confusion about it, because if you don't have the combat power in your list yet, it's not the mount per se, but if you don't have the combat power yet, it shows the value at Mythic, but with your own bolster. And if you have, for example, a uncommon tunnel vision companion at 100% bolster, it will show, and you don't have a higher quality, it will show always 200 on there, even if it's a Mythic tooltip, or let's say legendary. Let's say there's a legendary mount in the auction house with tunnel vision, but you only have an uncommon one, then actually this legendary mount in the tooltip, it will have the 200 value instead, which it's super confusing. So with this overview now, you can see exactly for which rank you can expect which value at the bolster value that you choose. So that's very convenient. I also want to add all of this to the Pocket Wiki. I will probably make a dump of all of this stuff at max bolster probably, and then you could see for yourself what all the values are in there. But yeah, it will not be dynamic. There is one terrifying roar, I think. I don't have the text of this one anymore. There's probably also more of these. If you have some other ones that are not on this list, please let me know what the tooltip is, which quality you have. Well, actually, probably I can guess, and also at which bolster it is, and which mount gives it. So I will have some questions if you give me another mount combat power that I'm missing in this list. But yeah, now you can click on the quality that you want to equip, and then it will be added to your build. It never gives stats, so it only gives item level. So that's also added now. Then fix the loading sequence when trying to load a custom item that does not exist anymore. So there was an issue in the character builder when you were loading a save file and a piece of companion gear or a piece of custom gear was not there. It would actually create, it would generate an error, and it would stop loading from that point, which is not really convenient. So now it will just say this piece of gear is not there. It will not generate an error, just a message, and then it will continue loading the rest of the save file. Let's see, when loading an old save file, mount combat equip bars need to be reselected. So that's also the messages that you saw before. If I pick an old file here, for example this, it will say add a mount combat power. It does not have the bolster value, for example, or the quality, because that didn't exist before. So you will have to reselect it. Same for the mount equip power. Now you need to know the well, the bolster's not in there, but you need to know the quality. So, and that's not in the old save files, so you have to reselect one here. Then a lot of gear added. Divine gear was added. That's all of this here. The names of the gear items are very weird. Let's see what class is this. This is barbarian. Okay, nobody saw that. If cancel. If I go to my ranger build and I go to gear head, you can see here, for example, this for the ranger we have a helm, which is not really logical because Rangers always have a hood instead. Actually here they also have a helm, but typically they have a hood, and that's really weird. Also, this helm is shared. Wait, this one is shared between the Rogue and Ranger, and the Fighter and Barbarian also have a Divine Raid helm with the exact same name, and in the tooltip of that item they have also the exact same stats. It only says Fighter Barbarian, so there's two different items with exactly the same name and exactly the same stats, which was a little bit confusing. I just added them now, also the equip power and stuff, that should work. So that's the Divine gear, and I also added all the mastered gear from Master Professions, which you can see here, down here. The +1 and also the non-+1, which is here. Should be there for all of the classes and all of the slots. So also the Masterwork weapons. Yes. Master Bronzewood. And then this word I cannot pronounce. And you can also see the Exalted. This is the old item that we had before. And now we have the mastered items. So that was all the gear. Oh, I closed the change tracker. Critical touch, the feature text. Apparently, oh, that's for the Paladin. Let's go to Paladin. It's for the Oath Keeper. Critical touch. So this was something that I think RJC messaged to me, and this is very helpful. If some of these tooltips are incorrect, please let me know, because I cannot check this all of the time for every patch. That would just be too much work to do for one person. So he notified me this tooltip is not up to date anymore, so I changed it. It's actually not updated here. I need to update the database. So this will now work for all powers, not just at will powers, all healing powers I think it was. And it will be the next Divine Touch or Divine Shelter, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I need to update the database real quick. Then the set bonus for the Vistani Raiments and Vistani Pendant. There was actually the Vistani... No, it was actually the Blood Crystal set before. Did I update that one? Vistani Pendants? Yeah, so you see here the set is incorrect. The Vistani Pendant is not part of this set, but it does say it in here. I, again, here need to update the database to make this correct. Now it's part of the Vistani set. Same for the raiments. And I removed the equip bonus from the pendant because there was still the AP equip bonus on there, which is not correct anymore. So those are all the items in here. I think especially the combat powers will be very useful for a lot of people, because now you can actually see what it gives for all qualities, and this would just make it so much more clear for everyone. Anyway, so you can download this version again, as always, for free on my Patreon. Enjoy! If you have any remarks in this video or any suggestions on what to investigate next, feel free to leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.